Yes people, what is happening, how are we all doing, and welcome back to the channel. In this video right here, we are going to be taking a look at the Lion Knights Castle bundle, and I'm essentially going to be telling you whether or not you should buy it. We're doing a full review and showcase of every single item that you get as part of this bundle, so let's not waste any more time and let's jump into it. So here we are then people, you get 10 buildings as part of this bundle, and they are so big, I've had to build them over the biggest stretch of this world that you could ever even think of. They're absolutely huge. This bundle actually sells in the item shop for 2,500 V-Bucks. This is the most expensive Lego kit that we've had so far by quite a long way. I do think it's very important to point out though with this bundle that although you may get 10 buildings for your 2,500 V-Bucks, the vast majority of these buildings are essentially used to build a massive wall. So we've got all these lined up here. Let's have a look. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of these buildings, realistically, are all part of the same wall. These are all for building essentially a massive wall around a village if you want to do that. If you don't want to do that, I really think you're kind of only getting 4 major buildings, because these ones right here, although they look very cool, and if you're going to build a wall, don't get me wrong, they're absolutely great and they're the best thing to use. But if you're not going to do that, they're kind of pointless, because they're all just parts of a major wall that you would build around a village. This looks very cool, don't get me wrong. It's got the main doorway here. And you've obviously got these sort of separate pieces that you can add on for like corners and things like that, with different turrets, different stairs. And then you've got much smaller pieces over here. If you're looking to build a kind of smaller wall, you would use things like this. These are the far more simple ones. But as I said, if you don't want to build a wall, I really do feel like these ones up to here are kind of useless to you. It makes it seem like you're getting insane value for money because you're getting 10 buildings for 2,500 V-Bucks, but I don't really think you are. Outside of that, we have got this one here. It's going to look pretty extravagant if you put this in your village, and I do think that is quite a good building right there. That's far better than all of these wall type ones over here. And then we've also got these ones over here too. These are the main ones, okay? If you are looking to buy this bundle, I would kind of focus your ideas around these ones here, because these are by far the most special, by far the most unique, and if you're building a village out of these ones, these are the ones that you're definitely going to be using. This one here, slightly different. It's got a kind of outside area here, but if we take a walk into this building right here, as you can see, very, very interesting, very, very cool. I've actually got one of these in my castle village, which is in the desert in my survival world. But as I've mentioned, I really feel like you're getting 4 buildings for this bundle. If you have absolutely no plans to build a massive wall, to be honest with you, I really don't feel like these here are going to be that much use to you. And you can build a much more simple wall with other stuff in Lego Fortnite that you already get as part, I think it's the Majestic Manor set, which is like a castle. It's basically like a kind of downgraded version of this set right here. So these are the Nightly Large Keep, the Nightly Small Keep, and the Nightly Workshop. And these are by far your best buildings without a shadow of a doubt. And the tower one there, I think it's the Mage Tower. Let me just have a look for you. The Nightly Royal Mage Tower. Yeah, that is also a very, very cool building. But as I've mentioned about 17 times already, the ones up at the top there, which are kind of for walls and stuff like that, I'm just not really that impressed with. Right then, decor items, ladies and gentlemen. A full showcase of every single decor item that you get as part of this bundle. And as you can see, we have a couple of cool tables there. I'm a big fan of this table, actually. I'm not going to lie to you. I do use that one quite often. We've got various different seats. We've even got a slight throne going on there as well. And I'm going to showcase all of these items for you so that if you're genuinely not sure whether you want to buy the decor bundle and you don't know exactly what they're going to look like in your survival world, hopefully getting a look at them like this will really give you a good indication of what they're going to look like if you're building them. We have a toilet, ladies and gentlemen. A kind of castle style toilet we've got there. You get a brand new wishing well. These are actually kind of different lights. They're like brazies you can put down, but you will need copper bars for those, just to let you know. A few more different lights. We've got wall lights. We've got this standing one here, obviously meant to look like kind of flames. A few different shelving items that you can use. I do, again, use these quite a lot in villages that I build, particularly this one here with the little skull head on it. It's very, very cool. We've got a bit of a planter here that you can attach to walls as well, and a toilet roll holder, which may not be the most interesting thing you've ever seen in terms of decor items, but it's not necessarily bad. We've got shelves here, again, featuring some books. That one's okay, but probably not as interesting as those ones. We have another closet, which has 10 spaces in it, as you can see. It's okay, but I think we have far more interesting closets when it comes to decor items. And these are very much the kind of things that look like storage, but you can't actually use them to store anything. So kind of very simple decor items that you might just dot around a village. So we've got these kind of like tubs and baskets. We've got different towel holders here, a much smaller one in the middle, and then this is the kind of most impressive of those three right there. We've got a decent range of rugs that you actually get as part of this set. The really small one, slightly bigger, and then this larger one here. Those are pretty much all the same. And the good thing about these rugs here that you can see that I've set out for you so you can see them all, you can arrange these in pretty much whatever pattern you want. You can take this one, for example, and build it into a much more bigger square rug, and it'll have a very similar kind of pattern going around the edge. I do actually, again, use these quite often. And then we have our wall decorations. There is a lot as part of this bundle, okay? This one's very, very cool. It's kind of featuring a sword. I think you need iron bars for that one, so again, endgame resources in order to build that. We've got different sort of tapestries and hanging items on all of these various different crests. There is a grand total of, let me count them for you, 4, 8, 10, I think. 10 different crests that you can use if you're building a castle. You can choose any one of these to kind of theme it around, stick them on the wall. I absolutely love these two decorations here. These are essentially tools. If you were to put them in the nightly workshop, which is that one right there, you can hang them on the wall. It really gives it that kind of like tool shop vibe. I actually really like these ones. And I tell you what, let's give it a second, all right, till it spins back around to daytime so we can see these properly. Right, we're back to the daytime so we can actually see what's going on now. We have these wall tapestries here, which are basically the same as this kind of vibe here, but a lot longer. So yeah, they get used quite often in my villages because they're not too bad, those ones. We have some much smaller details here. These are kind of things that you'd put on tables. We've got like goblets, barrels. I think that's supposed to be some kind of writing thing. We've got kind of different sewing things here. We've got needles, scissors, threads. This is actually a really, really cool one. It's supposed to be some kind of like mage spell book, I think. Very, very cool. And to be fair, I'm using that a lot in like most of my villages, not even just castle themed ones, to be honest with you, just pretty much everything. And then over at the back here, we have this giant castle, which is not too bad. I think it's made of stone, so I think it's probably granite that's made of, but don't quote me on that. And exactly the same for that one. I have to say though, I'm not really a fan of that decor item. It just looks a little bit odd to me, and I don't really ever end up using it. Various different models that you can get here. This one is supposed to be a mage, this one is a jester, and we've got a couple of other ones there. They're really, really good, and they feature quite a lot in my like massive castle village that I've got in the desert. We have these weapon holders here. This one actually features a sword on top, and then we've got some kind of like spears and a shield there. Drinking things here, which I believe are supposed to be for the horses. We've got troughs, and we've got the kind of things that you would tie horses to if they even existed in Lego Fortnite. And that is basically every single decor item that you get as part of this bundle. You do get quite a lot, but keep in mind that quite a high amount of that in terms of the numbers are actually based on these wall designs. So there's somewhere in the region of like 15 to 20 different items for this decor bundle are all the wall pieces that you can see there. And that is the showcase of all of these items. There is a lot of them, don't get me wrong, there is a big number, and some of them are very good, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's my favourite collection. So 10 buildings in total, with 6 of them being focused around a giant kind of castle wall. A massive number of decor items. Then we've got these kind of slightly more special buildings here, all for 2,500 V-Bucks. Value for money then, I'm going to be totally honest with you. Although technically there is kind of a lot as part of this bundle, it's very expensive, 2,500 V-Bucks, and I don't actually think the value for money is that good. I would say, as I've mentioned many times already, 6 of the 10 buildings are all focused around a wall. If you're not building a wall, you're not going to use them, simple as that. And there are some good items as part of this decor bundle. There is a large number, as I've mentioned, but I wouldn't say the uniqueness and the feel of these decor items, in my opinion, is as good as the Beachside Boulevard bundle or the Der Burger bundle. I think you get better decor items with those than you do with this, and this one is, of course, more expensive. There's also not anything massively unique with these. They're kind of just variations on stuff that we already have in Lego Fortnite. Nothing crazy, no unique features really. Some of them can be a little bit awkward to build in terms of resources as well. Things like these are going to need different metals like iron bars, really big endgame resources you're going to need for some of them. I think it's a good decor bundle, don't get me wrong, it's good, but I don't think it's as good as the other bundles that we've got. So for a rating out of 10 for this bundle, I'm probably going to give it a 5 out of 10, to be honest with you. I'm not saying it's not necessarily good, but it is very expensive, and I think you get better value for money with the other bundles. I just feel like there's a lot of wasted potential with this one. Too many wall kind of themed buildings, which I really feel are like a bit of a waste, particularly if you're not going to be building with them. Not a bad bundle overall, but definitely not as strong as the Der Burger one or the Beachside Boulevard for me. And so there we have it then, people. That is going to be everything for this review right here. I guess I'll see you guys in the next video, and peace out.